No,
Are you loud enough? Soft
yeah,
enough?
I feel everything enough.
I feel it all.
Not quite comfy enough, but that's fine.
I feel it all. I feel all of
I'm
it.
feeling it all. Yeah, so
Yeah.
anyway, tell me about this mullet.
Yeah, so Jeff Wittick inspired me. He's like one of the podcasters, YouTubers that I love. He was the guy that was in David Dobrik's videos that he slammed into the side of the bulldozer.
I don't know
Did you ever
anything
watch-
about...
did you ever watch David Dobrik?
Yes. I did hear about that.
Yeah, so he's like
Yeah.
my favorite YouTuber, and
Why did he do that?
So David Dobrik was doing like a stunt where there was just YouTubers trying to make content, and they're like, let's get a bulldozer, and they put it in the water, and Jeff's like, oh, I'll go on it, and the idea was to kind of have a rope on the bulldozer and lightly spin them around, but David just spun him around at full speed, then randomly just stopped.
Oh my gosh,
And then
that's so
Jeff
dangerous.
Wittick just slammed into the side, nearly bled out. His eye was like hanging out of his skull, and then he went to hospital. And then David Dobrik, they kind of made up, but then David Dobrik was like gaslighting him, and now Jeff hates him. And Jeff, like a couple years later, is now getting like seizures and stuff, and he's had 7 eye surgeries, and he still can't see out of his eye.
Oh my god.
So there's like this constant beef. And David Dobrik left making YouTube content for a few years and was only doing Snapchat. But now he's just made a big return, and he's like gotten on a bunch of steroids and he's jacked. And it's kind of funny because like Jeff Wittick's always been the really healthy guy. And now Dave, like his arch nemesis. Imagine
Is he doing like a Logan Paul boxing comeback?
Maybe. He just got really, really, really jacked. And
That's how you get people to like you. You just get jacked.
But imagine your arch nemesis like disappears and then comes back more popular and more jacked than ever. That would
It's
be
just
such a pain.
I really hope he's taking accountability for his actions because
No, he definitely hasn't. Casey Neistat did a documentary.
that's so wrong.
on
Ew. Imagine someone doing that to you. Like, of course you'd be so pissed off at them.
And like he went to have surgery, and David Dobrik didn't even like come to the surgery with him. And he said he was going to help
Wow.
pay for a lot of the surgeries and didn't. And then sort of said, "Oh, it was Jeff's fault. Jeff like always wants to do these crazy stunts." It's like, bro, you're the one that slammed him into the side of a bulldozer for your video,
Idiot.
for your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
But
that's
I love
annoying.
I love Jeff. He like grew up in New York, and he went to prison for selling drugs, and now
you
he's
love
like
you love him for that.
I love him because he's like a real. I relate to him in that sense of like coming from a somewhat criminal background, and now he's like into like running and like business, and he's like turned his life around. A lot of people he has on his podcast are like mates he grew up with in Staten Island, New York.
Oh, wow.
And he's just like really down to earth. I find him really
Would
funny.
you say he's like a good person though?
Yeah, I'd
Because
say
it doesn't
he's-
sound like he's taking accountability for his actions.
Oh, he has seen it was definitely a dumb idea to like go on the bulldozer. He's the one that got slammed into the bulldozer, not the one that was driving it.
Oh.
Yeah, so David Dobrik was the one that was driving it. Jeff was the one that was
Oh,
doing
so you're
the
saying
stunt and
Jeff's
got
the one that's
slammed.
doing all the wellness Staten Island.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so
So
it's
are
just
you
cool.
a fan of this David guy though?
Not really. I never was a David Dobrik fan, but he was one of the biggest YouTubers at one point.
Wow.
And he had a lot of, like, his whole content was like, he had a lot of friends in his podcast. He had like 20 different friends, like Jason Nash and like all these other YouTuber TikTokers and stuff. And
Yeah.
people watched him because of, like, even my girlfriend Rachel, she used to watch him, not because of David, but because of all the friends that he had. And you'd kind of watch it to be this fly on a wall of like a cool friendship group.
Yeah, well, I think like if you have a bunch of friends that are all doing cool stuff and building each other up in that way, then that is addictive to watch.
Yeah.
And you end up getting really popular because I think it's that pack mentality kind of thing where people see a pack and it's strong and people are, you know, working together. You just want to jump on that train, whether that's just watching them or actually being a part of it.
Yeah, one thing I like about that whole space with YouTubers is like all their content cross-pollinates. So it's like you can watch all these different people. I can watch Mike Malek's YouTube videos and Jeff Wittick's podcast, and then Mike Malek will go on Jeff Wittick's podcast. And it's like there's all this cross-pollination
Yeah.
of different characters. And it's like watching... Imagine if you watched, like, back in the day, a bunch of different sitcoms, like That 70s Show, Friends, but they all kind of popped in and out of each other's universes. But it's like, the thing of what I like about the whole influencers and watching podcasters and YouTubers is, like, they're just being themselves. They're not playing characters, which is why I feel like people have such better parasocial relationships with influencers, because you are playing a character, but it's also like you're just kind of being yourself. Whereas like a Tom Cruise, like you meet a Tom Cruise and he's a fucking weirdo because he's a Scientology nut. But like if you you revere him because he's Mission Impossible, but he's not that. He's not Mission Impossible. He's Tom Cruise. But if you meet a Logan Paul, he is a Logan Paul kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think that's what makes me feel so weird about the whole thing is because Tom Cruise goes in and out of character and then
Yeah.
he's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, which I don't think is healthy.
But what is even weirder is people, let's say Logan Paul, his character is himself.
Yeah.
Like, his YouTube persona wouldn't really be him. He's just giving the people what they want, but people just think that's him. And, of course, there is a really big element that is him, but there'd be so much more to Logan Paul than what is seen and what is thought to be. I don't know. I just find it like you'd want to be authentic, but in a way, maybe you wouldn't, because you want to keep some parts of your life to yourself.
Yeah. I feel like it's a constant dance. Even the content that I make online with my girlfriend, as much as we try and resemble that of like a real authentic couple, at the end of the day, you are playing a character on the internet.
Yeah.
And I've heard someone like describe it, and they used to describe it when YouTubers would turn on the camera and go, "Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my video." Like, obviously they don't talk like that all the time. And it begs the question, are you faking it for the camera, or is this how you talk? And they say they're not really faking it. It's just a part of themselves that's just emphasized and turned up to 100%. So it's not something that's not part of them. It's just a part of them that's turned up to 100%. But at the end of the day, you are going to have to play a character, and it can be this dangerous dance of you're trying to come off as authentic as possible, but at the end of the day, it is the internet. Like, no one's really following you around all the time. And then you get situations. You ever see that YouTuber chick that got in the controversy because she was like a dog trainer video? She made like dog training content, and she had this big like Doberman dog. And then one day she accidentally uploaded a video of her like hitting and like spitting on her dog.
Yeah, I remember
She's like, "Hey guys, it's your girl Brooke. Down boy," and like spits on the fucking Doberman.
That's crazy that happened.
How do you accidentally upload that? How do you go, "Oh, I missed that"? You had to review that, edit that, and then like...
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that seems a little bit too perfect in a way.
It's like accidentally uploading a video of you like beating your child, but like you're like a family vlogger.
Did she just go off the internet after that?
Yeah, I think her life was over after that. No one's...
Maybe she did it on purpose.
That's a whack thing to do. That's an elevated form of self-harm.
Yeah, it's that self-sabotage. But that's
strange.
one of those situations where you just have to think, this happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Like...
That's just divine justice in a way.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
humiliating yourself. It's like, you just brought so much shame into your life. Like, just by accidentally uploading a video of you.
But I want to know how all of this relates to your mullet.
That's a good point. So, yeah.
Let's just circle back here.
What a tangent. So yeah, Jeff Wittick is a barber, and he pioneered the tidy mullet, which is the first time I've ever seen a mullet that looked good. So it's like a mullet, but it's like tidy, and I was growing out my hair really long because I wanted to tie it up, but I was kind of sick of how just disheveled it sort of looked, so I didn't really know what style fitted curly hair, and I never thought I'd get a mullet because I just detest Australian bogan culture in all its forms, from VB drinking to four-wheel drives to mullets.
I love VB.
and four-wheel
drives.
I know you do. So when Jeff Wittick was the pioneer of this tidy mullet thing, I'm like, I'm going to give that a chance. I don't know if I like it, but I haven't now.
Can you get a Jedi as well?
What's a Jedi?
Bring them back.
What's a Jedi?
It's a rat's tail, but on the side of your head.
Oh, true. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
like
bring it back
because
because no one's doing it now. It's cool.
Rat's tail, gross. Where's my water bottle?
Yeah, but rat's tail is not a Jedi. A Jedi is elite level.
You had to bring a bottle that was bigger than mine.
I got a new water bottle.
That is pretty sick.
Did you notice? No, you didn't.
I did. Oh, I don't see you enough to keep stock of your water bottle selections.
No, I was weirdly attached to my water bottle.
Are you happy with this water bottle?
I love it. I actually do.
Purpose? Does it insulate? Does it insulate the water well?
Yeah. My old water bottle had rust on the where you drink out of, and I was like, to me, I was like, oh well, it's free iron. Cool. Like everyone's iron deficient.
Fuck yeah.
And then I was with my mates, and they were bagging me out, and they were like, you can't drink rust. Like that's not even good iron. It's iron gone wrong. And so I just threw it out one day. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like I get attached to things, but as soon as decide not to be in it anymore, I'll just throw it out straight away. No worries.
Yeah, I find
never think about it again.
Humans' ability to attach to inanimate objects is like really cute. Have you ever worn just like a pair of shoes down to there's like holes because you're just so attached to the shoe, like or something like that?
This happened the other day. So my grandma was basically offered to buy me a secondhand piano, like a semi-grand piano or whatever.
Slay.
We have one in our house already, but it's been out of tune my entire life. Like it's like 2-3 pitches the wrong way.
When to get it tuned?
So, well, you can't. When it's been left that long, it actually can't get tuned to orchestral standard or whatever they call it.
Right.
Anyway, so I said to my mum, it's my mum's piano. Mum, like, Grandma's offered to get us a new piano. My mum plays, but she doesn't play it anymore.
Because it's out of tune.
Because it's out of tune. And she's convinced herself, no, there's another reason. I'm like, it's because it's out of tune. Trust me. That's why I don't play it.
What's her other reason?
Oh, she just, like, thinks she doesn't have time. She's retired. She's got time. Anyway, so I'm like, Mum, like, can we just get rid of this piano? Because we've been offered to get another one that actually is in tune.
Yeah, when someone offers to buy you a grand piano, you don't
say no.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Mum's like, oh, no, I'm not getting rid of this piano. It's not just a piano, it's part of the furniture.
It's a family heirloom.
I'm like, Mum, no. Like, I said to her, you need to learn to let go of things when it's time.
Old people don't get that, though.
It pisses me off.
It's just
so we ended up getting this piano tuner in today, which my grandma paid for.
He's like, this is fucked.
Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry, it actually can't be tuned to where you need it to be, so you're going to have to tune all your other instruments into the tune of the piano.
What, like your guitar and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
I thought it was out of tune in the sense that a bunch of the keys are just like out of whack. But if you can tune it to a different key,
it's tuned to itself, if that makes sense. You play a C and the C is actually an E, but that's the same with none of the keys are like out of order within itself, but with all other instruments, it's out of tune.
Well, if I was going to pretend like I knew what that meant when I realized that, and then I realized I don't understand music at all, I was going to be like, yeah, tune to itself. That means fucking, like, no, I don't fucking know what that means.
Yeah, it's music's cool. Music theory is a whole different language. I know nothing about it, but like I know the basics.
I spent 45 minutes getting this mixer to work. So
yeah,
and that's not even like music. It's just audio engineering.
No, it's crazy how it all works. I don't fully understand it either, but it's something I do want to learn because I genuinely think it is so good for your brain.
For sure.
Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. Happy 2025.
How are you feeling about the year?
I'm feeling fucking stoked.
Give us your goals, your resis.
I wrote a bunch of bucket list items, but it's in a journal at home, so I can't see if I can recall some of the things that I...
Can I just quickly say one of my New Year's resolutions is to never say resis again.
Resis?
I hated it straight away. As soon as I said it, I was like, nah. I
just think of resi care, like residential care, when you say that. My bucket list items are just like, I always, for the last 3 years, when I hit the new year, I write about the things I did well throughout the last year, things I want to improve on, things that I've done really well. I think I just said that. And then like a bucket list item. So I think a lot of my bucket list item was like moving house. I wanted to record and publish and like engineer 5 of my own tracks. There was some other things, reach a certain amount of subscribers with me and my girlfriend's content. And the rest I can't really remember. But a lot of it was just the shit I didn't complete the year before, to be honest. It's just like get to $10,000 savings, just the same stuff I didn't really do. So
that's good.
Do an Ironman was one of them too. So
when's that happening?
There's a bunch. They do it. A half Ironman just happened a month ago.
Oh right.
I went and watched the people riding up it was in the blog, one of the blogs we put up on YouTube. We were like riding in there, like the whole beach road was shut down from like Mentone all the way to like St Kilda. Because they were doing that. That's where they do the cycling component of the half Ironman. Yeah. What about you? What are your goals for 2025?
Well, one of them is actually to swear less.
Slay.
Which is really, really hard. And now that I'm trying to do it, I've been noticing why I do it.
Why do you do it?
Like there was a moment where I was with some people that I felt comfortable with them, but not 100% comfortable. And I noticed that I swore heaps in that occasion. And I also find that it's a real...
So it's like a nervous thing?
It might be a nervous thing. It's also an emphasis thing.
Yeah.
I think. I'm trying to sound more interesting. Like when you say, oh, this is a cool water bottle versus that's a fucking cool water bottle. Yeah. It seems more like camaraderie.
Yeah.
I really wanted to say camaradereous, but that's not a word, but it should be. Camaradereous, yeah, true.
Sounds like it could be a word.
And then another one is, I'm still saving for America. So that's just an ongoing goal. I wouldn't even really call it a resolution. I did have another one, but I can't remember it right now, which I probably should. But, I'm actually just genuinely trying to be more positive.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm catching myself in negative thought patterns or anxieties, and I'm just stopping myself and saying, like, why am I thinking this?
Do you feel like you're doing that more towards yourself or towards the world, or kind of both?
All of it.
Internal or external?
What do you mean by external?
External, like I view the world as negative, like shit's fucked, war's happening, or
I don't worry about the world at all.
Internals, like I'm a piece of shit. Like,
yeah, no, I don't worry about the world.
Yeah,
it's all about me.
It's all about me, baby.
Yeah, which is maybe I should. No, I don't care about. It's fine. The world's doing what it's doing.
Yeah,
for me,
we're not really going to change the world anytime soon.
I just feel really weird one day, and I'll just be in my head with the randomest thoughts. And I'm like, do I actually really need to think this way?
Yeah.
Do I really need to be in a bad mood right now? Not really.
Is that why you deactivate Instagram every 6 weeks?
I deactivate Instagram for so many reasons. But
you go off and on with it.
I love it. I love being off it.
It's a good detox.
I find I'm really addicted to it when I'm on it. I'm that type of person where if I have the thing, if I have ciggies, if I have Instagram, if I have anything accessible,
just getting hit with dopamine
I have
from all angles.
Balance with it.
Yeah. No, it's designed to be addicting.
Yeah.
It's so much more addicting than it was like 10 years ago. Like I remember Instagram before there was the For You and the Reels and all of that, and it was so much easier to moderate your usage, and you'd actually post a lot more content. Now it's just keep consuming content. Like I just made a new Instagram.
Yeah, you did. Bishop_Lotus, right?
Yeah, I've changed it now. I've changed it to my online content alias just because I realized I'm managing too many social medias when I only need to be focusing on one right now, which is the one that's making me money. Yeah. And I'm just like sort of playing into that alias and stuff, which is nice. And
how is that going?
Yeah, it's going really well. We're getting more subscribers all the time. For anyone that don't know, I do adult content on the side, and I also sort of branch off into other YouTube vlogs and would like to expand to other things like Twitch. So safe for work and not safe for work content.
Plug yourself.
NoahXPeaches.com, baby. Be over 18. Yeah, slide.
Is that, what does that mean? Was that your plug?
Yeah, NoahXPeaches.com.
Oh, right. I thought you said no X Peaches.
No
X Speeches. No. And I was like, are you trying not to be profane now?
No, Noah, www.noahxpeaches.com.
Yes.
My alias is Noah Stone, and my partner's alias is Baby Peaches, and the X in the middle is like but it's like, because it's adult content, it's like Noah X Peaches.
Ooh,
yeah, so that's going really well. We're getting more subscribers. We've got a massive backlog of content. It's going really well. We just need to hit the promotional arm more, which means like cross-publishing content on Reddit, Pornhub, other places where you can sort of gain subscribers for free, because the content's good. It's about getting consistency, and that's another thing I'm trying to work on actively at the moment. It's just being more consistent with my content. I've taken a step back from my fitness regimen because I was training 7 days a week, and I've dropped my workouts down to an hour. I've taken 2 days off from training. I've changed my calendar for content to be a fortnightly thing. And I'm just trying to get into the habit of, like, when I get home from working a full day, 8 hours doing my normie job, to sit down and do 2 hours of work on top of that, which is what I need to do, which isn't like foreign to me. I've worked in restaurants where I would finish one restaurant and then go to another and work a 12-hour shift. But there's something different about working when no one's watching and having self-directed work with things that don't pay you out as instantly. It's a lot harder to self-motivate. I saw you had a little business venture. You made those magnesium bar salts with some roses you grew.
Yeah, that was
cute.
Pretty much just, I had bought that stuff like 2 years ago.
You just wanted to get something out.
Because I originally was going to do the self-employment assistance for Centrelink because I was really lost about what I wanted to do, and I've always felt a bit of an entrepreneur spirit.
Love that.
Anyway, I jumped the gun and I bought so many kilos of these salts and all this stuff, and I just changed my mind about doing the business at the time, and so it's been in my room for ages. It doesn't really have an expiry date, so people buy my product.
Plug it. Where do they buy your shit?
It's on where is it? It's on eBay. When I get back on Instagram, I'll probably advertise it a little bit more. But I had a few sales, which was cool. It's pretty much just to make a few extra bucks. It's fun. I like doing that kind of creative stuff. I realized that.
So what was the product?
It's magnesium salts with Epsom salts and roses as well. So it's essentially bath salts that you put in your bath, and it's really good for... Yeah. Don't tell anyone. Well, you just did.
And you grew the roses yourself.
Yeah, I grew the roses. I've got a dehydrator. So, you put them in the bath. Roses are really good for your heart opener. And then the magnesium has a lot of benefits in terms of muscle relaxants. Yeah. Just really good in a bath.
I OD on magnesium like every couple of days.
Oh, buy some bath salts.
Fucking do
You don't have? Do you have a bath?
I don't, but I have a bath at my wellness club in my gym, and it's a magnesium potassium salt
Oh,
spa,
true. I was
so
gonna
use
say,
that.
like,
I wish
would
I
they
had-
be
I wish I
okay
had a-
with you putting?
I wish I had a bath.
You might when you move house.
That's written in my stars. So
Yes.
must have a bath,
It's
one that
so
fits me.
exciting.
Because I've had baths before that I don't fit in very well. So
Yeah, you need like a jacuzzi.
yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
you'd
I
just be
do.
curled up.
So
But I was going to say with the content, it is really hard to work for yourself. But it's something that you're really passionate about. You've always been passionate about this.
yeah, but the passion doesn't always translate into executing like function. Like if that sort of makes sense. Like I get a lot of executive dysfunction when I sit down. I get distracted a lot. But that's just discipline. It's just a process. Just like building consistency at the gym was. It's just about doing the reps, not compromising, not succumbing and taking Ritalin because that would make it a lot easier. But I don't want to do that. I've tried that. I've done it before, but I'm a big fan that there's no biological free lunch. When I've taken Ritalin before, it's made me a hell of a lot productive. I know if I was medicated, I'd be a lot more productive than I am. But I feel like the trade-off is that you can't do amphetamines every day and be fine. I don't care how much ADHD a person has. I don't care how much like autism you have. If you're taking amphetamines every day, there is a biological trade-off. It's like alchemy. Like whatever is to be created has to take away from something else. And
What
it's
do you
like,
reckon it's taking away from?
it's taking away, like you're going to have an essence of an amphetamine come down. Now, if you're taking it every day, you might not be hyper aware on the ways you're coming down from amphetamines, but irritability, there's going to be small side effects. And even if like on every medication, there's the package insert of all the side effects and people just sort of think, oh, I have ADHD. I'm going to get on Vyvanse, Adderall, Ritalin, and it's going to be all hunky dory and I'm going to be so productive and I'm not going to, and they don't entertain that maybe some of the other elements. Okay, now I'm more productive, but I might have an increase in anxiety, depression, restlessness, and just other elements associated with taking amphetamines every day. But they just think it's all fine because they think because they have the ADHD and they're taking the medication, it's fixing, like I have low dopamine, this is fixing my dopamine, it's all going to be fine. But I've taken it before. I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. I could feel the side effects when I was coming off the Ritalin, and I go, this is not how I want to feel. I just would prefer to figure out other strategies like promoter techniques, using alarms, timers, minimizing distractions, curating your workspaces. There's a lot of things you can do. And then there's things like supplementation, nutrition, even just like getting better quality sleep. I've noticed has had a massive effect on my focus and concentration.
I have two things. First of all, why do you think you would have to take Ritalin every day? Like, why wouldn't you just take it once a week or whatever when, like, just for one of those after work sessions?
Because then I feel like I'd be sort of outsourcing my discipline to focus to only being on the Ritalin. Plus, you will come down harder if you don't have a tolerance to amphetamines.
Really?
So if you're taking amphetamines every day, that tolerance builds up and you don't notice the crash as much. But if you take a week off and you do it again, you're going to crash pretty fucking hard.
But don't you get that with, like, weed and other drugs that you do?
Yeah,
Come
but
down?
like...
Why is it acceptable for you to have a come down off a drug that you're doing for fun versus a drug that you're doing for productivity?
Because the come down is much more horrible off amphetamines. Like you get like itchy and like stuff like that. And
Just off one Ritalin?
yeah, like when I tried Ritalin, I felt great. I fucking edited for like 9 hours straight, was locked in. I didn't even take a very big dosage. It was a fairly small dosage. But yeah, I felt like irritable. I felt impatient when I was coming off it. I felt like I just come off a low dose of speed because that's essentially what it is. It's legalized.
Oh, damn,
it's
that's
legalized
crazy.
speed.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like some people might not feel like they have those, but I would argue some of those people might not be in touch with their body and their physical system as much as they can. It's weird. Some people, like, have you ever just like been in a really shit place where you've been eating shit food, not taking care of yourself, and you sort of think you feel fine, but then there's a time in your life where you're really nourishing yourself and you're really in a good state, and you sort of think, fuck, how did I ever like do that to myself? But at the time you felt fine. But it's like you don't really know how much you were poisoning yourself until you're in an optimal state kind of thing. And I see like the human body and abilities to adapt to being in a poisoned shit situation is kind of scary. Like we can adapt to like just getting by and surviving off like energy drinks and ciggies, and we can kind of convince ourselves we're fine. And then
I don't reckon anyone's actually convinced though.
Yeah, but like
I think they genuinely they have to feel shit because like I love smoking ciggies.
Yeah.
But if I smoke for like 2 or 3 days straight, I feel so fucked about myself.
What if you just kept it up? Because I know people
I couldn't though. I genuinely couldn't because I would have an existential crisis and convince myself I'm going to die of lung cancer.
That's what I want non-local to have.
But this is like, I feel like people just do it for so long and they block out that noise for so long that they actually don't. Like, I did that with weed. I smoked for 7 years every single day. And I have that paranoia every single day that I was going to die of lung cancer, but I still did it because to me it was worth it.
Yeah, same.
It is a crazy phenomenon though.
I'm glad we both snapped out of that.
I'm glad too. Well done.
I had one puff of a joint on New Year's. Actually, I've tracked it here. Let me share my insights. I'm all about data and tracking myself.
He frosts the data.
I officially quit smoking, period, on the 5th of October.
Nice.
And I went 50 days with no smoking. Ooh. Then I had a puff of a joint because someone I'm in a court battle with, their dad came to my fucking house and it stressed me out. So I had a puff of a joint that day. And then 37 days later, I had one puff of a joint on New Year's. And since then, it's been 20 days.
That's progress.
So I've had
balance.
2 puffs of a joint in like a couple hundred days.
I love it. It's you're very good when you make your mind up. You're very good at that.
But I just wish I did it sooner. It's my only regret. No.
Yeah, I know. Like, think about how cooked our brains are.
Like, here I am dosing up chaga mushrooms and taking all these supplements and doing all these longevity practices, but I'm just smoking spliffs every day.
It's so
it's fucking
ironic.
whack. It's so fucking whack. But that's why it's
good.
It's
a trap.
That's why it's good to allow people to roast you, even though like the people that roasted me were longevity gurus I was watching online going, the number one thing that accelerates aging is smoking. And I'm just going, fuck.
Yeah.
But I love it. Like,
I feel like you almost convince yourself, they don't actually know what they're talking about. They're just saying that because they have to.
No, I always believe
you agreed with it.
I would like romanticize the idea that I can do what they're doing and smoke ciggies. I can go run a half marathon and then finish it with a joint, which I've done before. Yeah. And I found that you would romanticize that counterculture part as kind of cool. But then I remember the kicker for me was I had like a lung infection, chest infection for like 5-6 days. It might have been caused from smoking, might have been caused from poor diet, might have been caused from the sauna I was using being not very clean. But I had to take a bunch of days off work and I was just coughing throughout the night and in the morning. And I'm like, that was like a simulation of poor lung health. And I'm like, I'd already kind of hinted, I'm like, all right, I might quit smoking at the end of the year. And it was October. And I'm like, why the fuck am I waiting around to stop poisoning myself? Why don't I just do it right now? And it's interesting when moments of like that click kind of thing. Because I've had moments where I've had, you yourself have probably done it, where you've had detoxes of 30 days, 100 days, a year from smoking. But I find like, it's just, and then I've had times where I've gone, I'm not doing it ever again. And then you crumble. But then there's this moment sometimes where something just clicks and you might not even be doing it intentionally, where something you've been mulling on in your subconscious, all the pieces fit and people have their last cigarette for the rest of their entire lives. Yeah. And I'm always curious about how to get to that point for me and others. It seems like
a natural thing.
It's like,
it's almost something you can't even, it's a spiritual thing.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
It's this weird like presence that just goes, enough. This is it. And it's like, it can just come super sporadically. Like,
have I told you I heard God the last time I smoked weed?
Really?
Have I told you that?
No, I don't think so.
I was doing the Jatbulla Trail in the Northern Territory and I knew that was going to be the last time. And I was puffing on the joint and I'd finished the joint and I threw my weed out to the wind the rest of the way. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. Right. And I literally heard God say, I am God. Like the most deep, booming voice. I swear it wasn't a hallucination.
Were you by yourself?
I was by myself. I don't hallucinate on weed. I've only hallucinated once off weed. Actually a few times, but never audio. And this was fucking legit.
Was it just a voice?
Yeah,
like a really loud voice?
Booming, like proper powerful.
That's
and
cool.
That's the only time I've ever heard the voice of God. And I was like, oh, damn, I better take this seriously. And I haven't smoked since or even taken any weed at all.
Nice.
It's crazy. And I'm so grateful for it.
That's so cool. I've had an auditory hallucination like that I believe was the presence of like Mother Ayahuasca, which was the first time I had properly broken through from smoking DMT. And I'd tried it a bunch of times, probably 10 times prior to this. And I tried this sort of dosage at my house, and this Changa blend was mixed with the actual ayahuasca vine itself.
Oh, wow.
And I had this experience that I was not ready for. And when I came back to reality, I was coming back into my body. I was sobering up, and I heard this very feminine, very loving voice directly in my ears telling me to love myself. It told me you should love yourself. Like, I remember exactly, because it was about over 10 years ago. But it was like, I think it just said love yourself. And I remember though, after it said that, it was this very feminine voice. I had this presence over me, and then I went into the mirror and I looked at myself, and it was like every little, you know, when you look at yourself and you say, oh, my hair looks shit today, and all these little human elements where we just kind of bicker and like pick apart ourselves. It's like all of that was like washed away. And I looked at myself in the mirror with a sense of like, I'm actually like I love myself, and I just cried.
Oh,
Like, yeah, it was, and I've like, it was such a weird experience because it was such a vivid voice. And when I've spoken to people who have had a lot of ayahuasca experiences, they say the presence of ayahuasca, I haven't drunk ayahuasca before, but they say the presence of Mother Aya is a very motherly, feminine, loving spirit. So I think that was kind of interesting.
That's beautiful that you had that.
Yeah.
Did that like last for long? That self-love?
Yeah, it lasted for quite a few days afterwards. And that was actually the last time I've ever properly gone for a breakthrough DMT experience, and that was over 10 years ago. And I've had DMT in my possession for years. I've just kind of been scared ever since that experience because it was quite profound. Yeah. But I want to try. Have you heard of Ibogaine?
I have. I don't really get what it is. Is that, what is it?
So it's like a psychedelic vine that was prominent in West Africa, but now it's been sort of revered into this medication that has a very long, I haven't read too many trip reports about it, but from what I have read a couple years ago was it gives you this very long-winded, it's not as psychedelic as ayahuasca or like a high-dose acid trip, but it's very hallucinogenic in the sense that you'll look in like a mirror and like things about yourself will change and it'll alter reality, not in a warping animated way, but in like a visionary hallucinogenic way. Like your face will open up and like it'll have that kind of distortion of reality. And there are these clinics in Mexico where these people have gone, and one's even been opened by an ex-Navy SEAL, and people who have had stubborn 20-year opiate addictions, ex-Navy SEAL veterans who have the most rigid PTSD, where they're waking up screaming, very medication-resistant conditions where they've tried everything, methadone, get on it, therapy, this and that. They go and they have one ibogaine treatment, and they never touch opiates ever again.
Wow.
And they have this long treatment that lasts sort of, they do 1 or 2 doses over like a 7 to 30 day period at a clinic where they have like 4 staff to 1 patient. And it's a whole spiritual, they call it not psychotherapy. It's like a spiritual psychedelic therapeutic clinical practice where it's like doctors and ibogaine has to be administered.
Is it psychedelic assisted therapy?
Yeah, they have their own term for it. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's got to be administered very carefully because ibogaine can cause your heart to stop.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so it needs to be administered with doctors who are trained in cardiology and can give you like high doses of magnesium to calm the heart, and they monitor you with an EKG, and it's just, the data has been profound, and I've only just been learning about it recently. There's 2 clinics in Mexico that I am considering actually going to.
What would you want to go there for?
PTSD. I got a lot of PTSD from my childhood. I got a lot of PTSD from my involvement in criminal gang activity in my life. And they offered 3, a lot of these clinics, they offer 3 packages. One is for substance recovery, like getting over substance abuse. Another one is for PTSD. And there's another one that's just for vitality and like resetting your spirit kind of thing. So they have different approaches for that. But I want to go in 2027 to Mexico. I want to go do the Greater Reset, the People's Reset with Derek Bros in Mexico, because they do that in Mexico as well. Do an ibogaine clinic and then cross the border and do like a Southern American circuit, which you're doing soon.
Which I'm doing.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to go to America for probably the past 2 years. It's been in the back of my mind. And last year, I just thought, you know what, I actually am going to get the ball rolling on this and fully do it. I don't know if I'm going to go to LA anymore with all those fires.
Why do you want to go to LA in general, though?
Well,
it's a shithole.
I mean, at first I didn't really want to spend much time in LA, more just fly in and boot. But when I say LA, I mean the whole of California. It's actually a really beautiful coast, sick surf.
Forests are cool there. They've got the
like it's sick. And they've got Yosemites in California as well.
Wait, say that again.
Yosemite?
Yosemite ziggity. It's Yosemite, brah.
Yosemite. What was I saying? Yosemite. Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Vegemite. I don't know why I said Vegemite.
Okay,
No, whatever.
Yosemite.
You know what?
Yosemite's
I used to say Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Yosemite is so beautiful.
Yeah, that's where I want to see. I still don't know if I'll actually spend much time in Cali. Again, especially with the fires. But yeah, so I'll go Cali and then get a drive all the way up to Idaho, through Wyoming, down, like, I want to see Houston and Texas. Houston so cool. You've really converted me. Like, I already wanted to go to Texas because I'm big on country music.
Who are some of your favorite country artists?
Oh, Sierra Farrell, who I actually saw last week.
I don't know any country artists besides like Morgan Wallen.
Crazy. Her voice is insane. And her in real life, she's so ethereal. Like, she didn't even look real. It was crazy. So many different country artists that I love. I couldn't even name them all, to be honest. I mean, I could name them, but I'm not going to because it'll take ages.
That's cool. I love your return. I've seen have you always been into that country kind of lifestyle? Because I felt like you've been transitioning to that.
Something switched in me. I think maybe when I moved to the Northern Territories.
Or when you started loving Jesus.
Maybe.
I feel like it all blends in well with each other.
Yeah, well, Jesus came before the NT, but I don't know what even happened, but I think I've always been into folk music, like Ben Howard, that depressing guitar stuff, and I think that just naturally progressed to enjoying more guitar, and I've moved away from EDM and a bit of, I still love rap, but not as much, I guess.
There's a lot of country rap out there now, which is exciting.
I don't know if I vibe with that.
You didn't vibe the tracks I sent you?
I don't think I listened to them.
You bitch.
Yeah, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a Spotify person. I don't YouTube because I don't have YouTube Premium.
Oh, true.
I'll listen to them.
If you get the Brave browser on your phone, you can listen to YouTube in the background, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I should do that so I can like click on your links.
I'm actually not send you Spotify links.
I'm not against country rap. Actually,
can I show you the song real quick?
Yeah, show me the song.
This is called Big X to Plug. Shout out Houston, Texas.
But yeah, it is interesting how much Walker. Country style has become big now.
Oh, it's like the most dominant cultural change. Like Beyonce is doing fucking country music.
I don't know.
They're running
I have a feeling maybe the TV show Yellowstone did that.
Yeah, it helped. We're going to get copyrighted for this.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah. Like, this is sick. Yeah.
Listen to him rap. He's like one of the fattest, blackest rappers out there. He's so sick. His cadence
Did you send this to me?
Yeah.
Put diamonds in our niggas. Feel like a Pepsi. This Texas, we get our weapons.
It's all about riding horses, shooting guns, and drinking lean.
Does he actually do any of that?
Yeah.
Like, does he ride?
Yeah, he's got a whole video of him riding. Like, I don't know if he rides horses because he's like 300 pounds. That'd be kind of
cruel. That's really I don't
cruel
think
for the horse.
Any place is going to let you ride their horse if you're that fat.
Big belt buckles. But I was surprised.
That's cool.
It's going to sound so ignorant, but I was surprised there's that many black people in Texas. Like, there's a massive cultural hip-hop presence in like Houston and Dallas and all of that, and I'm just like, that's fucking sick.
I can't wait to go. I'm really excited. I've just been like super curious about America. I've never been before. I'm just saving my dollary dues because shit's gonna be expensive.
Hell yeah, son. Yeah. Great time to go with Trump being the president.
Oh yeah. I love Trump.
Trump's America now.
Yeah. No, it's sick. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working towards. It's why I moved back to Melbourne.
How long are you here for?
Till June. I actually need to book my flights next paycheck.
To the land of the free.
The land of the free.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
But yeah, I'm sort of one of those people that if I say I want to do something, I'll just do it. Like, I'm one of those actual crazy people that does the crazy things they say they want to do. So
love that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Hope you go there. Hope you find a husband.
Are you going to go to Turkey?
Yeah, so we're moving house. So, like, I don't know if the moving house and going to Turkey can coincide because we want to buy a bunch of furniture and spend a bunch of the money we got from the government for getting traumatized. So, I don't know if that will coincide. We need to sit down and budget how much we want to set aside for the move, then calculate how much we'll earn by mid-April later in the year, and then see how much flights would cost if we buy them now versus later. Just basically just budget and see the feasibility. Because it's either like, I don't know, like we want to go to Confest and move house. We also want to go to Turkey. So it's like up in the air what we kind of want to do. But it's definitely big on the list because I also found out, do you know what Göbekli Tepe is?
I have no idea.
I've been like deep diving a lot of Graham Hancock work lately. And Göbekli Tepe is a temple based in Turkey that is now been discovered as the oldest ruins of human civilization in the world.
Look this up.
Dating back. It's called Göbekli Tepe. It's like something like 15,000 years old or something, and it's got like structural things. It's like it predates the pyramids, it predates writing. It's like fucking old.
Did they only just find this thing?
They found it like not that long ago, but now they're like they've carbon dated it. They go, holy shit, this is older than like anything.
It kind of looks like Stonehenge.
Yeah, it does, and there's not that much. Like, they haven't excavated, like, 95% of it still remains to be excavated. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about why.
What is it? Is it a temple?
It's like the remnant, it's just like it's the remnants of a temple and of a civilization. We don't know what the civilization did, who they were, but it's like, it's just really cool. And I wanted to go to Turkey in general, just for I'm obsessed with the Ottoman Empire, military strategy, all of that. They're just like the beauty of their villas and stuff, and a lot of the medical tourism. There's a bunch of reasons I want to go to Turkey and Greece and Cyprus and do that circuit. But now I found out there's so many other.
If you go to Turkey next year or in future years, I'll come because I love anything Arabic, like that kind of vibe. I think it's so sick.
Yeah, modern day Turkey. It is basically dates back to approximately 9,600 BCE, so before Christ. It makes it the oldest known monumental complex. Stonehenge is only 6,000. Pyramids is only 7,000. This is nearly 11 to 12,000 years old.
Well, this is what they say. I mean, carbon dating is not entirely accurate.
Yeah, I think there's other wins they did, but Graham Hancock's big on that, and it would just be sick.
What does Graham Hancock reckon it is?
It's just hard because getting access to there, the archaeologists haven't excavated it, so... But there is just a lot of information that, like, with some of the intricacies of the construction and the architecture, it does sort of push the needle back with our understanding of human civilization and how, quote unquote, primitive we were and how advanced we were in other areas. And it's just like, it just raises, it's sort of, when they discovered Göbekli Tepe, it kind of fucked a lot of things up for modern day archaeologists because they always have this idea of this timeline of human civilization that they don't want to really stray from, and then Göbekli Tepe pops up and they're like, oh fuck this, like how does this fit in with like everything we've just hammered home to be true with all. So I want to go there and learn more about it. So
yeah, it sounds really fascinating.
Might go over New Year's and then party in Cyprus for New Year's and stuff. So
that sounds great.
Yeah, so it should be cool, but haven't traveled in a long time, so that should be exciting. What else did
I heard something. I read something today. Yeah. This is similar. Like it's about Iran. But this pop star from Iran has been sentenced to death.
Why?
For blasphemy.
Damn, don't fuck around there.
Isn't that crazy? So
it's kind of. I'm not that surprised.
He had a 5-year jail sentence. That then turned into him. Becoming sentenced to death for insulting the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, why would you do that if you live in Iran?
Turkish police handed him over to Iran. So he'd been living in Istanbul since 2018.
Turkey's government has a habit of just working with anyone who wants to work with them. Like the Turkey government assisted the assassination of a journalist by the Saudi Arabian royal family. And they did it in the Turkish consulate.
Look at this guy.
True? What the fuck? He looks like a proper criminal. R.I.P. But damn, he looks like the kind of
future R.I.P.
He looks like the kind of bloke to speak out against.
That's pretty full on. He was promoting prostitution as well.
Right.
Just so many things.
He looks like Diane Wood.
Propaganda against the Islamic Republic.
Was he born in Iran?
Posting obscene content. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I kind of love the idea of countercultural revolutions.
That's pretty full on to get killed for. But the thing is, it's like,
if you look around at where you are.
If you know that the law is, you're going to get murdered for doing that kind of thing. Why would you do it?
It's like going to North Korea and talking shit about Kim Jong-un.
It's just, do you not love your life?
Some people love the idea of being a martyr, though. They see their ideology as being more important than their safety.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I find it annoying what he's done in a way. It's like, okay, cool.
A waste of life.
If you want to do that, move to the US. Don't be doing that in Turkey.
Yeah. No, Turkey's had
That's
like
also
3
an
military
Islamic country.
Yeah, it's had like 3 military coups. Like they're not really not going to really just, if someone asks for you, they're going to just give it over. It's weird. A lot of these, it's interesting we live in Australia. We don't really have neighbours and borders in a sense. But like all these other countries in the Middle East, they're all right up next to each other and they have to sort of work with each other and have these military intelligence alliances because anyone can just bomb each other. Speaking of which,
but that's why they have so many wars over there.
Yeah,
because
I know.
It's so religious. They're so dogmatic about their religion and they're all got different agendas. They've got so many resources like oil. There's so many reasons to fight. It's amazing that they don't more, to be honest.
No, I think they do a pretty good job of fucking each other up.
Yeah.
As it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was watching the news the other day and it was at the gym and I hate the military war propaganda we get. That like I don't watch the news, but if I'm at the gym, there's nothing to look at. So I get these doses of mainstream news propaganda coming into my brain more than I would like. And it was like we were celebrating the HMAS Brisbane, which is this giant naval fleet coming back from the US and being one of the first countries of 3. So there's America, UK, and Australia shooting like a cross-continental Tomahawk missile. They were doing testing in Australia. It's like, yes, like we fired the first Tomahawk missile in training. Cost $2 million to shoot a Tomahawk missile. And I was looking up, I'm like, how far can a Tomahawk missile go? If you were to shoot it from Melbourne, you could hit New Zealand. If you were to shoot it from Darwin, you could hit Indonesia. It travels like 27,000 kilometers. And I'm just like, why is that a celebration? Like, and the Navy's coming back and we're all celebrating and there's like this video of people hugging each other. It's
so
just like,
cringe.
it's fucking gross. Like,
what are you going to do with these missiles, really?
why are we over on the US borders shooting missiles for them, wasting our taxpayer money when there's a fucking housing crisis? It's just like, like, I get we got to suck the United States dick a little bit, but I wish we could just kind of just protect and serve the border of Australia and stop meddling in foreign affairs. Like,
yeah, but that's never going to happen.
No, it's not.
It's just dumb. It's such a waste of money.
Yeah.
But it's just a part of... This is why I don't worry about things that are happening in the world because it's just so stupid.
I look at it way too much than I probably should, but I'm also getting better at just sort of letting it wash over my thoughts. Like I'll absorb things and if I can use it or utilize it, I absorb it. If I don't, I'm getting better at letting it kind of float down the stream because...
I was actually thinking about this the other day with activism. You know how people are so quick to post on social media, I support this, I support that, blah, 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 blah.
Bandwagon activism.
I'm like, what is actually the point of being an activist and caring so much if you're really not even doing anything? If you're not going over there, if you're not donating food, if you're not being a nurse in the battlefield or whatever, like what's the actual point?
I guess some people see it as like if we do live in a democratic society where voting and polls and elections sway that, having that pressure and voicing it does cause some politicians, either at the federal or local level, to consider and change their stance on things because people will, like, think about when election time comes up, how much the government acts like they care about the common man's problems because they're trying to sort of equalize with you. So when people are sort of getting up in arms, they're trying to rally consensus of the population and sway it in a certain way. So that's why people get so fluffed up. And it's also, that's all that some people can really do, essentially. It's like not many people here are going to go fly over to Gaza and fight in a war.
Sometimes I just worry.
Some people do, though.
I worry a bit that I just don't care enough. I used to care so much. I used to be like, oh, vegetarian and the war and the men and I'd be so angry. And now I don't care.
You got to self-preserve.
I feel bad about it. I'm like,
yeah. You got to self-preserve though, like caring too much and getting too afflicted. Like I look at Derek Bros, who inspires me a lot. The amount of information about terrible shit he takes on every fucking day is just like would drive me insane.
It's too much.
It's too much, but he's also like doing really good stuff at the same time.
It's also it's not natural, really.
Nah, it's
if you think about it, we've only been able to access the entire world of information in the past, 100 years?
Yeah.
It's not in our evolution at all. Like, our evolution is to think locally. And so maybe it is more normal the older I get for my brain to be, okay, I'm on a small scale now.
Yeah, but I feel like this is the evolution that we're going towards. Like, I feel like we are expanding our capacity for intellectual memories. That's why we're making things like AI, because we're holding more information than we can ever get through. And I don't know, I've heard some people describe it as just like we build technology in a similar way as like a caterpillar builds a cocoon to become a butterfly. It is the technological skin of our species.
So the technology is the cocoon?
Yeah, or the technology is like the butterfly, and we're making it, and we're making AI, which is I guess is like the cocoon. We don't really know why we're doing it. We're just sort of obsessed with we don't really know why we constantly have to have more. We have to build more, make more. We got to go to the moon. It's like the same things that like the Vikings, like they had to sail west. Like we just don't know what's out there. We have to. There's this innate,
need to know.
Yeah, there's this innate sense of like we got to keep going. And it's just like that is bad because you can greed and you can fuck things up. But it's also like, just in the way of like the caterpillar, it doesn't know why it's building the cocoon. And it's just like, some people believe we're doing that because we're going to build an like artificial general intelligence, an AGI, where it's like a super knowing AI. But it's just interesting that
we're doing anything so that we don't have to sit with our own thoughts for even a second.
Yeah, but it is overwhelming because you're right. We're not.
But no, what you said before is like we're going onto a universal scale with our thoughts, but our brain can't comprehend it. So we're outsourcing that capacity to AI.
Yeah.
It's not natural at all, but
what is natural?
But what is natural?
Yeah, we're kind of so far removed from the natural world. And like, if anything, we're going to evolve towards a different, like, you know, form of being as a human. Like, this is just the path we've been going.
It.
We made the stone wheel, we made houses, we made bricks, we're making microphone. Like, this is just in a way, that is the natural progression of our species.
I don't reckon it's good, though.
Yeah.
I'm not on the fence, actually. I think that AI is no good.
But you look about like the patterns of statistics of where we are versus like the 1800s, like how much more murder and death, and like people think we're in a really fucked position now, but it's like there's a lot less raping and pillaging and murder and disease than there was like 1,000 years ago. Like we don't have as large, like, yeah, we had the global financial crisis in 2008, but that didn't hit as hard as the Great Depression. Like, just the amount of progress we've made. Like, think about the battles, like, that they had.
But if you think about, like,
swords
I think
and shit. Like,
the AI, what it'll turn into is the technological equivalent of the Black Plague, of the Black Death.
Yeah.
It's good at the moment, and it's really good, and it's going on an upward trajectory, but it's going to spiral, and it's going to end up, because it's actually not good.
I think
because it's coming out of an intellectual greediness.
Yeah, I think the more different AI models are made, there's Meta for Facebook, there's Grok for X, there's ChatGPT for OpenAI, there's Claude, there's so many different models. China has their own models. It's going to be similar as like people making computers and people making operating systems. It'd be dangerous if only one government had it and no one else was allowed it. But if like people are going to start making their own localized AI, and it'll become just like another form of technology and computers where it's only dangerous if we don't all have it. But if we all have access to it, we can all kind of use it.
No, it's dangerous because we'll all have access to it.
I think with AI, we're going to fucking hit a boom of like advancement that's going to be like the last 5,000 years of advancement in the human race done in like 10 years.
Yeah, it'll be the end of the civilization as we know it.
Or it might
be the global civilization.
Or to take a devil's advocate point of view, it might be the great equalizer that we need, because so much of human destruction and pain is a result of human emotions: greed, desire, lust for power. You know, absolute power corrupts absolutely. There's that. But if you could have a government or a leader or a policymaker that is an AI model trained with its primary task of ensuring the survival and the enrichment of the human race, and it guided policy changes based off all of the data of human civilization. You can give it the most detailed terabytes upon bajillibytes of all the Palestine, Gaza, Middle Eastern conflicts, this cultural thing, and it can take all of that and guide what humanity needs.
You might as well just get a severely autistic person to rule the world.
Nah, but like, no, because this is like...
That's why it doesn't work.
But autistic people still have like their own human desires of wanting to eat food and like wanting to have sex and stuff. Like in some cases, AI can be derived of just data and processes without emotion, which is sort of what we need. That's why I don't believe that like any president can become president.
So you think that all these negative traits are because of
humans.
Emotion?
It's because of humans.
It's because of humans. You don't reckon that an AI...
No.
But that's the thing, the AI, like, why would the AI say, this is bad, why would the AI have morals? Is it only humans that say this is good or bad, or is an AI going to say, oh, we need to murder this many people in order to get this outcome because the data says this is right, but it's not inherently bad because the AI doesn't actually have morals? That's what makes us human.
I guess an AI model can sort of weigh up all different philosophical realms of thought, of morality, and it can give like objective guidelines and policy, and it can sort of, if you just task it with like, at the end of the day, what do you think is the most important thing humanity faces? Is it staying alive, like making sure we become interplanetary? Because I would think the most dangerous thing humans face is just going extinct, either through becoming infertile or something like that.
Yeah, but who's going to be programming? Who's going to decide like what the AI is going to be programmed?
See, that's another thing, because there are some biases. Still. Yeah, that is true.
And so you're basically putting, and even if you got the AI to make that decision, you're putting that on the AI to analyze all the data and say, yeah, this is what is most important.
Which is why AI should be open source, which is what ChatGPT was meant to be in the first place. That's why the company's called OpenAI, but it's not. They became a very privatized company.
Yeah, because that's what always happens. It's idealistic to think that AI is going to work for us, where humans don't even work for us.
I would rather an AI model guiding like our government than like fucking like Trump or something, or like Anthony Albanese, or like a single human person. Because I think a lot of them start off with good intentions, but then they go like fucking Mein Kampf style Hitler, and they just end up just going so far left of their intentional ideals. Like,
yeah, but most of the time they're always going to get shut down. That person is going to get shut down. They're going to get kicked out by humans. And AI could get to the point where you can't shut it down. This is why I'm leaning more towards deactivate the Instagram. Don't worry about the social media. Yes, I have to sacrifice some things. I still get by. I'm still able to breathe the air and live my life pretty well. Like, if you actually really think, none of it is even real. It's just on these, like, waves. It's not tangible reality, and people have gotten to the point where they feel like they can't even live without it. I think at all.
How you relate to technology is incredibly important, and the relationship you have it. You should use it. It shouldn't use you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like you do the drugs, don't let the drugs do you, kind of thing. Like,
which I don't know. I don't think it's going to be able to have that separation in the future for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It talks about it lots in the Bible. I take a lot of my opinion about that because it's like written about pretty seriously. But there's other, non-biblical sources that so many people, it's like a classic debate about whether AI is good or bad. At the moment, it's fine. I use ChatGPT all the time. I love it. It's sick. In terms of,
has it improved your life?
Yeah, heaps. Yeah, but were we talking about Meta? Yeah. Someone was saying recently, maybe it was us, I don't know, but Meta has made Instagram algorithmic. It's not even that fun to use anymore. Yeah, because it's all an algorithm.
We were touching on that, and it's like it's good algorithmically. I also wrote this in my notes of like it's good because it means the things you're getting are more targeted to your interests, but that can also be a bad thing because, like, for example, I've just taken an interest in like learning how to cold approach people again, which is like the process of going out into the world and just actually talking to human beings.
How's that going?
I'm done with dating apps. It's going good. I used to do it a lot 6 years ago, and I was a part of forums on Reddit, and I would actively go and approach people at TAFE and school, and like I'd talk to strangers on the bus, and if there was a cute girl, I'd approach her, try to get her number, and I got really good at it. But then I stopped doing it, went back to fucking watching porn and smoking weed and retreating into my shell, and now it's just like I've lost that ability because I don't have that natural extroversion extroverted nature. But I'm getting back into it. But now my algorithm on Instagram is all these like pickup coach guys who wear these secret camera recording glasses and they're in the streets and they do it. And it's like any interest I have, I'm now flooded with 30,000 cunts that are doing it as well. And I'm just like, it's sort of, that is cool because that's what I want. But it also kind of devalidates my thing that like my interests are special because now everyone I open my phone and it feels like everyone else is doing it. And it's like it's kind of strange. And it's like, ideally that's what you want. You want to have this feedback loop of like people are into the same interests you are, but also there's some kind of solace of like, the things I have are kind of mine. But yeah, we were talking algorithmically, like it's now just designed to be this beast where it's like, it's less about social networking and it's more about
so
just
performative.
It's not what it used to be.
It's gotten that ego that's within everyone that loves performing, loves to be seen. Not everyone, some people have stage fright, but that loves to be seen. And it's twisted it and made it now everything you do you have to be seen for. Yeah.
Have you seen Mark Zuckerberg doing a full 180 on just being a fucking total loser?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like doing jiu-jitsu. He's on Joe Rogan. He's growing his hair. He's filming videos.
Did he go on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, he went on Joe Rogan and he talked about the censorship that the Joe Biden administration did with vaccines and how Joe Biden's political team was calling up Meta, yelling at them over the phone to remove certain things. And Mark Zuckerberg didn't want to censor and they want to be objective. And he was just like being a little fucking weasel because Trump's coming into government and he's like, well, I didn't want to censor anything. I'm just a social media platform. It was the government, and just trying to like act like all of the relationship Meta's had with intelligence agencies and censoring content and curating stuff was like none of his fault. I'm just a tech guy.
I don't believe
and
him.
it's just like, it's like he's gone to a PR firm and they've done a full, like, it's all right, you're going to start going to UFC events. You're going to grow your hair out. When 4th of July hits, you're going to film you cracking a beer and wakeboarding.
Oh, because it's right wing now.
Yeah. He even got Dana White. Dana White's now on the board of directors of Meta, who's like the president of the UFC. And he's
so gross. It's so like...
You're a snake. You're a fucking snake. Like, you don't, like, what do you believe in? You believe in whatever gets you the contracts and keeps you making money.
I just don't get it. Like,
I fucking hate these technocrats.
If you're that rich, you have all the money in the world, why don't you just be real? Just be yourself.
They want power. That's what they want. Because money loses all value, so the next best thing is power. That's what all the Rothschilds are addicted to. It's power and influence. So you'll just be a fucking snake.
Do you reckon that's the highest form of... money, power? Is there anything on top of that? What's better than power?
Money, power, just like control of the fucking population. And like, I don't know. I guess anything beyond there is like you get into like occultism where it's like living like, skirting around mortality.
But I guess that is power. I would say power is what these people are trying to... There must be... I don't know. I've never really had that much power.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the only thing that excites them.
I gotta say though, like even when... If you say, oh, let's go over here, and like 4 people follow you, fuck, there's no better feeling.
Yeah.
It's like this rush of like, oh, yeah. So I kind of get it. Imagine that, but on like a worldwide, universal...
It's sickening. And
yeah.
it's the control of the human spirit as well. That's why you see a lot of people like Drake and Kendrick and all these like dudes in the upper echelons of celebrities, when they can't flex their cars because everyone else is rich, they start like flexing which women they can get, which like fucking like what's his name, Steve Harvey's like daughter, like it'd be like they'll like Meek Mill will put her in like a song, and it's like, oh, I got this girl that you didn't, girl, and like there's like this sort of small group of like 50 higher value women that are just getting shared around all these celebrities, and they're all like, she's with me now, because it's like you can't get the money, you can't get the fame, so it's like I'm gonna control women that are conscious entities. It's this weird power thing. It's like, what can I flex? What can I have that you don't have? And
that's why it makes so much sense for the Freemasons and the Illuminati to actually exist, because a way to get that much power is by doing this black magic. I know, because I was in it. Well, kind of. They said it was white magic.
Yeah.
It's
white
not.
magic.
It's still, I mean, I guess it kind of was white magic, but black magic is real. Like, I've had dreams about the Black Lodge, and it's...
Is that a Freemason thing?
Yeah, it's all of it. Like, the Black Lodge is anyone that's doing this... It basically, I dreamt that I went into the Freemasons building, and in it was Disney and all these different businesses that are very, very big, but they're all doing this black magic. And you could see it in like Harvey Weinstein and P. Diddy, like they're all doing it.
Yeah, P. Diddy's an interesting one.
Yeah, I reckon he burnt down LA.
Really?
Yeah.
I reckon
sure.
P. Diddy is like the black Jeffrey Epstein. And
yeah, he's fucked.
He's got some weird relationship with like intelligence organizations as well. Like same with Jeffrey Epstein of like, you get him to molest some kids, you get some videos recording, and now it's like, if you don't pass this legislation about fucking Ukraine or the music industry, we're going to release it. You're a pedophile. And people would rather like kill their own wife than be outed as a pedophile to the whole world. It's like such a fucked bargaining tool. And oh God, like, I don't know. I just hate these technocrat snakes and these intelligence organizations. And it's weird because I try and put myself in the shoes and mental state of people that are working for these 3-letter agencies and stuff like that. And it's just like they probably think they're doing a good service, like they're protecting the country, and they're doing these things because if they don't, someone else will conquer them. And if you look at all of human history through thousands of years and like the old times, countries just fucking invade each other and kill each other. So it's like, in a way, you can have sympathy for like Putin and all these people because it's like they come from a long history of like, if you don't strike first, you'll be made irrelevant. Your country and your society will be pillaged and made extinct. And we still are operating in that.
No, I don't reckon that's the case with Russia, Ukraine.
I reckon it is. No way.
How could it be? Russia's massive. They've got so many. I don't know. I just think that I don't know necessarily about the Putin thing, but in general, I would say that some people are just genuinely inherently evil.
Yeah, I do believe evil exists. But
because it doesn't make sense for Russia to be needing these resources when they have so many.
Yeah, it's more about like sending a message in that sense of like, you're not joining NATO, you're not putting more military bases on our border. Like if the US had Russian bases built in like Japan and stuff, they'd be just as equally as upset as like Russia is with Ukraine.
All this, I feel like the reason why I don't delve into trying to learn
hurts the brain.
Really why these things are happening is because I just don't think the truth is really out there.
Yeah, it's
hard. Not accessible to the public.
That's why it's important.
Even people and that's why I'm like, oh, why would I even bother? Because I'm just going to get the surface level of what they want us to know. Even if I think I'm doing deeper digging, you're not going to get those CIA or secret documents that actually is the truth.
And if you are, they're going to be redacted, and it's just hard. That's why we also live in a very censored perspective of the world. Like that's why I try and listen to podcasts that have Putin on. I listened to a podcast with Putin with Tucker Carlson. I just listened to a 4-hour podcast with Zelensky talking to Lex Friedman that was translated out of the Ukrainian. And just like, I go by vibe. Like when I listen to Putin talk, he doesn't talk like a fucking human being. When I listen to Trump talk, he doesn't talk like a human being. When I listen to Zelensky talks like a human being. Mark Zuckerberg is sounding a little bit more like a human, but it's very forced.
Yeah. They're all real smart. They're smart though.
Yeah.
They're really, really smart. Like Netanyahu and Putin, they both love history.
Yeah.
That's their thing.
Netanyahu's a fucking snake too.
Yeah, well, they've just learnt from history about how they can conquer, and
it's fucking gross.
Yeah, they're intelligent, but I go off the same thing. I go off how I feel.
Yeah, but it's also like you kind of need those people running your country because if you don't, like, we're gonna get fucked over. Like, I guess
you need people like Netanyahu. Or Putin.
In a way, you do. Because, like, you can't have soft leaders because you will just get run through.
That's why I love Trump. Because even though he actually does sound like a complete idiot most of the time.
Yeah.
But he's able to influence and control people.
And he's got a bit of, like, strength about him. Like, even the Australian
he dominates a conversation. He dominated that conversation with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, poor Joe. It was fine. He
couldn't talk.
I hate people talk like that. But did you listen to JD Vance talk with Joe Rogan?
No.
He's Trump's vice president. He talks like a human being. I really enjoy listening to that podcast.
Yeah.
Now, he's a venture capitalist, potential scumbag who's allegiant to the state of Israel, but he does talk like a human being, and you feel like you can make progress with that. I like Trump's cabinet more than I do him. Like, he's picked for intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. He's got Katash Patel trying to get in the CIA director.
He's got a regenerative agriculture farmer.
You know, he's got Robert F. Kennedy. He's got a fairly good
sweet
squad. But and this is something Derek Burrows writes about a lot, his part of this technocratic empire where it's like the likes of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel are coming in a instead of like it's like they call it the technocracy, where it's like the future will not be run by politicians, it will be run by extremely wealthy tech entrepreneurs who have built these businesses, like Zuck, like Elon, who kind of run the world, and they have these relationships with politicians and presidents, and they're going to be the new like elites, like they're going to be the new Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and we got to kind of keep an eye out for that, because even Mark Zuckerberg, I watched that interview, I'm like, I kind of wanted to like him. But you got to remember all the things that he's done and all the things his organization has done. And just because they put on shiny new clothes doesn't mean they're any less of a fucking snake. Like, so it's hard. It's just hard.
We're in the age of tech. We're in the age of we don't so much have to worry about our physical reality becoming. We don't have to worry about that. It's mental now. Our minds are going to be controlled. Yeah. It's already started. It's going to get worse. Everyone, stay strong. Keep your mind fresh. Don't be brainwashed.
Keep your spirit strong.
Yeah.
Train.
Keep your spirit strong.
Physically.
Spirit strong.
Keep your spirit. Keep yourself strong physically, mentally, spiritually, and just lead with love and compassion. And don't play sides.
And deactivate Instagram.
Deactivate Instagram. And just detox from social media. I want to just.
But share, subscribe.
Fuck yeah. Should I rapid fire through all the other shit I was going to bring up? Because
no, we'll do it next time.
Yeah, but I always say that, and then different shit happens, and we end up like, I'll just rapid fire.
Okay.
So like,
I'm going to check the surf while you do that. I'm so sorry.
What are some things you've learnt recently?
Oh right, I have to be involved. I thought you were just going to talk.
No. There's a couple things you've learnt recently. It's kind of putting you on the spot. Any cool things you've learnt?
Yeah. But I can't. I've just been getting more into Arabic, to be honest. Yeah, I've been watching like Love Is Blind Arabic. And I'm just trying to get like better at that language, which is fascinating. So that. Does that count?
Read any good books lately? Yeah, that counts.
I'm still reading Great Expectations. It's taking forever. It's cool.
I've started properly reading again. I read a fiction book before I go to bed as part of my wind down routine. I'm reading Empire Rising, which is set in like the Akkadian and Mesopotamian Empire in 3100 BC. So I've been really enjoying that. And I've been listening to 12 Rules for Life with Jordan Peterson, which I fucking hate. I hate it so much.
Okay.
It's just so like, it should be 12 rules for life that are derived from biblical analogy, because every chapter he just waffles on about biblical analogy for so long. And like, kudos to him, but that's not what I say.
Did you not know that was his thing?
No, because it's like not in the preface of the book at all until you start reading it. You go, why is every...
You've listened to Jordan Peterson. He says he likes Christian ideology, but I don't actually think he genuinely believes it.
He says some good things. He says if you live your life by Christian ideology, you will live a better life as if you didn't, which I do believe.
Yeah, it's true.
But like, and also, I'm always a big advocate for authors narrating their own audiobooks, just not with Jordan Peterson. Like, I love listening to him for like 25 minutes, but like trying to listen to it for like hours on end, it's like Kermit the Frog narrating the Bible. It's just
do you agree with what he's saying though?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the stuff that he says.
You don't like it.
But a lot of the 12 rules for life, they're rules that are not like, they don't have to be related to religious pretext.
But a lot of those rules came from religion.
A lot of them came from it. Some of them didn't. A lot of them can be interpreted.
Which ones would you say didn't?
I can't remember all the rules off the top of my head because I daydream out of the conversation, a lot of the books. But a lot of the things he talks about, like some of them are just like basic rules of attachment, which came from like Vedic philosophy and Buddhist philosophy. And a lot of the stuff's just psychological stuff that he likes to tie into biblical teachings because that's his thing, but I just did not know it would be this heavy with biblical shit. And it's like I'm listening to it. I'm 70% through the book, and I'm determined to finish it because I started it. I hate it, but I'm gonna finish it. And like, I'm probably never gonna read a Jordan Peterson book ever again after this. But like, I still like listening to him. I listen to podcasts with him. I still enjoy him. I still enjoy his mental prowess. I enjoy his place in the culture.
Yeah,
but I don't want to read a book from him ever.
Fair
again.
enough.
So he's still a certified G. Don't get me wrong. Watch any good shows recently?
Love Is Blind.
Yeah,
I'm
word.
frothing it.
I've never seen that.
Oh, you need to watch it.
I started watching.
I started watching it ironically.
Yeah.
I thought it would be funny just to
love those
take the
guilty
piss out of it,
pleasures,
and
yeah.
now I am like addicted. I've watched all of them:
Yeah.
Sweden, Japan, America, UK.
Oh, really? Cool.
Now it's in Dubai.
Cool.
It's lit.
That's dear. I just
Yeah.
started watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh, how is that?
I loved it, but Rachel didn't want to keep watching it.
Why
so,
not?
she just thought it was dumb.
I don't reckon they're actually Mormons. There's no way they could act like that if
Sorry.
they're actually Mormons.
They're fucking hot. I want to go to Utah.
You won't listen to you don't like a Jordan Peterson Christian book, but you want to fuck
Oh, if
a
Jordan
Mormon.
Peterson was hot, I'd fucking listen to him all day. So, yeah, I just rewatched the whole Avatar Last Airbender series because Rachel's never seen it. Now we're on The Legend of Korra, so I've been loving
That's a good one.
loving that.
Yeah,
Loving
winner
that.
every single time.
What are some things you're currently working on? Maybe personal development stuff?
I've been getting into running.
Yes, let's get
Okay,
on Strava
I say
and
this,
shit.
but I've been on 2 runs in the last week.
Coming running tomorrow?
I feel like I have something on. No, I might run tomorrow.
Lotus Club.
I don't know what has happened, but I went for a run the other day and I was like, this is fucking awesome. I feel really good.
I tell you what it is. You're getting closer to 30.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to happen with a lot of people. You're either having kids or you're training for a marathon.
I just, since moving back here, I'm like, it's actually really nice. Like, the bay. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
so pretty.
Beach Road's a mad run. Me and Josh did it 2 weeks ago.
Why did I never realize this? Because I've been living away for the past 4 years, if anyone didn't know. And so coming back, the older I get, I'm like, oh, this is actually really nice.
That Beach Road's
And I
a
can't
min
surf
run.
every day, so I got to find some other active thing to do.
So many hotties run Beach Road. So many hotties. I drive up Beach Road like 6 a.m. for work a lot, and yeah, there's some beautiful, beautiful humans. And like the more you get into the richer suburbs, the hotter they get. Like you go from like Mordialloc and they're like pretty hot. You get to like Brighton, it's like holy shit. It's like, yeah, it's amazing.
Well, I'm from Beaumaris, so I guess I count
in
as
between
being
those two.
a certified hottie.
You're like just on the edge of like the upper echelons of Bayside.
Beaumaris is
okay.
upper echelons AF. Like that, we're like on par with Brighton.
Yeah, but like no one knows where Beaumaris is. But people know,
but that's what's
people
so
know
cool
where
about
like
it.
yeah.
Nah, that's what's so shit about it.
You don't even have a train station.
Beaumaris is like bougie, but in a humble way.
It's like a less ghetto version of Hyatt.
No way.
No one's gonna know what. Like,
No
one
no,
who's
no,
even from
no.
Melbourne
Anyway,
would know
I
what
actually
it is.
do need to go because my sister is
God
pounding
damn.
me.
I had so many things we didn't even
We'll
talk
do
about.
this again next week. We're gonna be doing this more often.
Talk about a couple things. It's pretty good. Do you want to close out?
I do want to close out. I've loved this chat though.
So it's been sick.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks,
It's been
guys.
real. We always end up going on tangents, which is our entire podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But stay safe. Keep it real.
Take care of yourselves.
What did I say before? Stay sprung.
Stay strong.
Stay sprung.
Keep your strong spirit.
Yep. And
And drink water.
good water too.
Not contaminated water from New South Wales.
Oi. Yeah.
Much love, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Lotus Pod out. Take care of yourselves.